Hello everyone, I'm Lincoln and I am made of robots. On today's robots that I'm made of, we're taking a look of an actual robot that's made of not quite robots but vehicles. We're looking at Transformers Armada Tidal Wave. If it's a Decepticon with wave in the name, you know you're in trouble. So as you can see, these are 3 aquatic vehicles. There is an aircraft carrier. One sec. That little piece was off. Got an aircraft carrier. The front's a little weird, but overall not bad. It's got, takeoff and landing airstrips set up. It's got a nice little command tower. Some mini-con ports, of course. Not much on the bottom. Some wheels. Let them roll around. Because these guys are obviously not going to float. And that ends all of the normal types of vehicles. Because we've got... Now, hovercrafts exist. Not like they do in Back to the Future. But we do have hovercrafts. They have the big bladders of air that they fill up, and then they have cushions of air that they ride along. They're pretty cool, though a little tricky to steer from what I can tell. I don't know what this is. It's supposed to be a transport hovercraft. Oh, nice detailing along the bottom on this one. Wheel so we can roll. It's got wings. I don't think hovercrafts actually need wings. It's a good place to store weapons. That's really all there is for him. I like his paint. I like the color scheme, the gray with the purple. Got the silver on the fronts of those ramps. Mini-con ports, of course. Just the airbrushed... The fact that these are airbrushed and that kind of fades a little bit just really helps it look a little bit nicer. Picked out a little tech detailing, not on there. But overall, not bad. For a strange, crazy, semi-fictitious vehicle. I'm guessing those are thrusters along the back. And I'm going to apologize. These guys are very dusty. I bought these when they came out originally, when I was much younger. They stayed on my shelf for like a decade or so. Never really got cleaned too well. And then they got put in storage before I had a chance to clean everything. So they're going to be a bit dusty. Now, let's continue with our third vehicle. Whatever the hell this is, I don't know what this is supposed to be. He has 2 missiles he can launch out of the front. I do still have them. They're just in a bag somewhere I can't quite locate. I try and keep my missiles not in the toy because it compresses the spring over time. And then if I ever feel like firing a missile later for whatever reason, or if my kids later on play with this, nothing will happen. The springs would be all compressed and they'd fly like half an inch or so. If you saw my review of Galaxy Convoy the other day, those springs haven't been compressed over time and it still barely flew out. So I try to keep my missiles somewhere else, especially because these are the kind that you're going to launch while you're transforming the guy. Trying to think, what was the other one? The first Transformers movie, Starscream from that, there was no good way to store his missiles. Those all went in a bag immediately. I think that's when I started keeping all my missiles out of the toys and somewhere else, because they're just going to get lost, and I've lost too many. But anyway, I'm just trying to stall, because I still don't know what the heck this is. I mean, it's got all these neat gun emplacements along the top, so, I mean, kind of some sort of battleship. We've got a control tower up top. Looks nice, I like it. I don't get the split green pontoons up front. I don't know... I've never seen a vehicle that looks like this. I could be, I might have just missed it. I'm no expert on naval vessels. But I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. Now, before I go any further, all these guys do have a little gimmick. And the easiest way to show that off is to show off this guy's gimmick first. You might be able to see a bit of a... What should be there? Well, something's in there. Got this little... kind of ledge, and you can lift the ledge up and screw it up horribly. Oh dear God, I almost lost him. that happens sometimes, because this is not the best gimmick. Plus, it's a little stiff from not having been used in a bit. I'm going to reset that for a second. There we go. Terribly interesting to watch, I know. Let's try that one more time. You kind of have to use equal pressure on both. Let me get it started. There we go. And you've got your Minicon, because an Armada figure isn't an Armada figure if it doesn't have a Minicon. I feel terrible now because I did not think to look up this little guy's name, and I do not remember it right now. But he's a little purple jet with a gold cockpit. Not too bad for a Minicon. Can't see his face, so that's a plus. A lot of Minicons you can just see the face. He is... I'll transform him real quick just to show him off. You know, you kind of unfold him. Flip up this little purple tab for feet. Then you flip that, flip those away. He's got little hands. And there he is. Again, sorry I don't know his name. He's not a bad little Minicon. He's got just a red blotch of paint for a face. But other than that, not too bad. He's got some detailing on him. Doesn't look, it's alright. Minicon pores. And then you can see these 4 little protrusions at the back. Hold on, I'm going to flip him back into vehicle mode. I am so fast and excellent at things. Well, I like that he's got these missiles. Or intakes or something. I like that those are molded in. But these little nubbins here at the bottom are on his underside. For one, he doesn't really need landing gear. If those weren't there, he would sit flat. But those are there because you can see these 4 corners, these are raised, and when he sits in here, that makes sure that he's sitting straight. He's sitting the way he needs to, so that when you fold him up, he will go back inside. That's really all the gimmick you get out of this, is that he holds that. And it's cool. I like it. I like having a little hidden Minicon inside. It's fun. I'm going to get him back into robot mode, so that'll be the easiest way to show off the next gimmick on our strange hovercraft vehicle. Strange hovercraft vehicle is a troop transport. These fold up here. You can see that there are like jump seats inside that I guess you could have a Minicon sit at, even though he's kind of just standing in a... There we go. He's more like sitting above it, but it's play value. It doesn't do anything for me. I don't sit around playing with a bunch of Minicons and stuff, but you know, these are toys. They're designed for kids, and I bet kids would have more fun with this than any collector would. I mean, yeah, you could pose a bunch of guys in there, but otherwise, not a lot going on. Get him back into plane mode. And the nice thing about these is the way they're designed is you can just close it up and they will just automatically fold away. Which is nice. Not the coolest gimmick I've ever seen, but I like that it at least works nicely. Then on to this thing. Whatever this is. This guy has the Minicon gimmick, as you can see by there actually being a little red button inside of the Minicon port. So you put that on, and then you can make the cannons move. That's exciting. How neat is that? So yeah, that's all. That's their gimmicks. And individually, they roll around and kind of sit there. That's about it. But, of course, I believe I mentioned this, they combine. But they combine in 2 ways. Well, it's really one way that kind of flows into the other way. So, they do... Anyway, what I'm trying to dance around is that they have combined vehicle mode. So for that, I'm going to take these little protrusions on the back of the aircraft carrier, put them to the sides. Then, we're going to take this thing, those are stiff, and get these just kind of out to the side. And what you do is they've got these huge holes in them. Wow, they've actually, if you can kind of see, that light's not good. From here you can see they're actually springs on one side. Some heavy duty stuff. So what you do is plug one in, plug one of those things in here, plug the other one in on the other side, and then kind of jigger it, and there. So those are now combined in a bit of a floppy manner, but combined nonetheless. Then we take the last sucker here and just split them in half. And actually you can pull these back a little bit. And then this big round clip goes into that big round section on the back of the whatever this is. The not battleship. And then it's going to be a little hard to show. There are these guys, these little tabs here that this guy will kind of tab into. And then we have Tidal Wave as a giant naval rocket ship. I already zoomed out all the way. I mean, that is fantastic. That's as tall as... That's got to be as tall as Galaxy Convoy, who I just did. And until this gets packed away, Wizard Sword Gun is going to be my comparison for really long toys. So, there's the tip. Yeah, I'd say he's about as long as Galaxy Convoy when he's in a truck. So it's quite a nice combined mode. It's weird, but that's never stopped me from liking a Transformer. It's floppy up front, definitely. But the whole thing, it somehow works. Like, it really does come together. You're like, oh, I get it. It's a spaceship boat. But it still does look pretty cool. I do enjoy it. And then the wings on the hovercraft now make a lot more sense. But aside from the combination, it doesn't activate anything new, nothing fancy extra happens. It's just, it combines into this big thing. Which is kind of cool. Now, we're going to try and get this guy into robot mode. Which isn't that tricky, it just might be weird because he's big and bulky, and getting it all in camera is going to be a little off. So, let's do the legs first. It'll be really easy. Get these guys loose again. And then straighten them out. Flip that guy around front. And then, see, this whole thing's hollow to hold the rest of the leg. But I like it because I actually put tech detailing in here. You know, some like tubes and pipes and things. The underside of it's also done up. Very nice. All you really have to do is fold that guy forward. Sorry. You fold this guy forward, and that will fold up this little rampy dude. And then here, flip that back, you got his heel. Then, take it out to the side, rotate it 180, and then flip it back down. Not too bad. So again, pop. These are always a little tricky to get off. Oh, you can kind of, it only protrudes on the upper part, so you can kind of lift it out a little bit. Still tricky. So yeah, so let's get this extended. Flip up the front, flip up the heel. Oh, flip that in. Put it out to the side, rotate it 180, flip it down. And then we can take the whole underside and rotate it so that he is now standing. I'm definitely going to adjust the camera a little bit for that guy. Let's see. I guess I should do that next. Just take his centerpiece there, completely rotate it around. You can see the head's a little exposed in there. Then you separate the hands. And you can't just fold them straight down because they get stuck like this. You have to pop the joint in here, pop it up a little bit, so you can rotate the whole thing around. And they will more or less lock it. They lock in place. Not the most tight thing in the world, but with the ratchets and all, it holds. So then for the hands, kind of just rotate it that way. And then you get an elbow bend. And then you can flip that up so that his thumb is in the right place, and then the underside of these can form his hand. So now he's got a hand. and some posability. We'll do that over here. Flip his thumb up, not too far. Flip that a little bit so it looks like he's got a hand. There's that. And then pull his head up. Just that. And there we go. That's him done. And I always like to place his mini con on the centerpiece in the chest. Helps fill out the look a little bit. And then if you want to, you've still got that. Don't know why you'd want that when he's in this mode. But look at that. That is a full... one normal vehicle, one semi-normal vehicle, and one out there vehicle all combined into a big cohesive robot. Do I have a soda can around? Yes, I do. Standard American soda can. So that's how tall he is, which is fairly tall. He's about, I'd say he's about the size of an American megazord. Yeah, he might be a good foot tall, somewhere around there. And I love him. There's the complaints about the weird vehicles individually on their own, like aside. As a whole, I freaking love this guy. I think this guy is fantastic. He's wobbly, I will give him that, but everything stays together. You are not in danger of anything falling apart. Hold on a second, I'm just very confused. I was confused by why these are like that on the underside. And it's just kind of because of the way the holes that help him stay in position, or that help him line up and lock in, are like that. Weird. But yeah, we get a big full guy from this. He's got 180 there at the shoulder. Move the arm, can move out to the side. 90-degree elbow. Bit of a swivel there. The plates on this make it a little tricky. You do that, then you can't really bend it anymore. There are no knees. These bend sideways, so you can do that, but there are no knees. You can get forward and backward motion. But really, when you've got a transformer this size, you kind of just have them out for their presence. You know, if you were a kid playing with this, I don't know if you would need him to do a whole lot, because you would probably be having your toys fight, you know, gang up on him. But yeah, I had him sitting out on a shelf. He was actually displayed with my Megazord collection for a while, just because he fit right in. He's a big, tall, bulky robot made up of several different parts. Somehow it all cohesively works together. He's a great little guy. Well, not little at all. Just in case you're interested, that's just a great shot, actually. But I wanted to give you a better shot of the head sculpt. It is not the most amazing head sculpt, and my light kind of sucks in here, but I really like it. Actually, some of the definition's showing up a little better on this. Just the panel lines in there. He's got his red eyes. It's huge, I'm guessing missile racks or something on the side of his face. I dig him. I love him. I think he's really cool. Back's pretty good too. I mean, there's a lot of Transformers that there'd be. You combine 3 vehicles, they would have bits and pieces hanging off. I'd have a pile of parts on the side, maybe, stuff like that. No, this guy is totally self-contained. But there's one more little thing that he can do. Unfortunately, I can't fully show it off. I'm just gonna manually break him down real quick. See, because he can combine with Armada Megatron, which is interesting, because I don't think that's happened a lot, where Megatron gets some sort of power-up like that, aside from being completely reformatted. Plop. There's that. Flip this around. all three of these guys can combine with Armada Megatron somehow. It's weird. It sucks that I don't have them to show off, but the way you prep it is the control tower here. Press that down. You don't. There's a minicon port on top, but you don't need a minicon or anything. It just pops down. Now you have this. Oh, that's right. This is weird. I think that's all you do for this. Hold on, I should show that on camera. Take this guy, split it in half-ish. You want to split it just enough so that you can rotate that guy like that. Rotate that back up. And you've got kind of that with the split in the middle. And then this guy over here has these things at the bottom. Actually, reach in and swing them out. Because here's what would happen. If you remember, Armada Megatron has that big cannon on his back. That big cannon would swing around to the front of him, and then there'd be a port on the back where this plugs in as a flying wing backpack. Pretty sure this is the direction it went. Don't believe it was like that. So this plugged onto his back. And then you would take this, get it back open. Take this guy, take this, clamp that over his right arm, and he would have this, he would just have this, just this, stuck to his arm. Nothing different about it, just a big old double-barreled ship gun attached to his right arm. And then his left, this guy, would stick onto his left arm to give him this, hold on, this giant battle hand. Really I'd completely forgotten about it till like halfway through this review, and I really need to pick that guy up, because that, I think it would look kind of cool. It looks like a jumbled mess of parts, to be sure, but that could still be kind of cool. That, I believe, is everything I've got for Armada Tidal Wave. He's a fun figure, guys. If you can, I recommend picking him up. The three guys are nice. He's just great construction. Looks great. I think there have been a few repaints of him over the years. I can't say what those look like. Something about this weird color scheme works for me. It's like muted G2 colors almost. Just, well, at least the bright green kind of does it for me. But yeah. Decepticon Tidal Wave from Armada. I almost said Armada Soundwave. Who I don't think I have. And I'm not sure if there was an Armada Soundwave. There had to have been. There's always a Soundwave. So that has been Armada Tidal Wave. I am Lincoln, and I am made of robots. Talk to you guys later.